Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. I'm super excited today because I'm going to be sharing with you a topic that I have been researching now for several months and doing a really deep dive on all things CBD. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make a CBD infused bath bomb. In the weeks to come, I'm going to be sharing with you several different CBD infused cosmetic formulas. So this is really exciting for me because I'm finally able to share something with you that I've been working on behind the scenes now for a long time. In this video today, I'm going to be showing you how to make a beautiful CBD infused bath bomb. I'm also going to go into detail about what CBD is, what type of CBD you should be using in your cosmetic formulas, what type I'm using in my cosmetic formulas, and so much more. So stay tuned, we're just getting started. I will be sharing this formula over on my Patreon campaign at the $5 level. I really hope you'll check it out. The link to my campaign is in the description box below. There are now hundreds of recipes and tutorials to take advantage of over on my campaign just at the $5 level. What do you have to lose? We also offer things like coupon codes to my favorite suppliers like makesy.com and onlinelabels.com, and there are 4 other tiers besides the $5 tier for you to take a look at and take advantage of, each with their own unique benefits. All right, let's get started making some CBD infused bath bombs. All right, so here are all my ingredients necessary to make my CBD infused bath bombs, including a little tiny bit of CBD isolate. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about the CBD that I'm using and what actually is CBD and why I'm using it in this product. Okay, so what is CBD isolate? What is CBD? Why do we want to use it in our products? This is a CBD isolate powder. This is a form of CBD. So there's all kinds of CBD you can find on the market. That took me a while to kind of grapple with and research and figure out which ones we should be using in cosmetics if we want to do that, and which ones we probably should not be using in cosmetics. So this is a CBD isolate. It's a form of CBD, or an acronym for cannabidiol, which is a chemical compound present in the cannabis plant. Okay, so what they do is they isolate the cannabidiol and they form a powder out of it, and then you can use it in things like cosmetics and also supplements, which I will not be doing because that's a whole other ball of wax. But anyway, you can use the CBD isolate in your cosmetics. So unlike other CBDs that you might find on the market, there are some CBDs out there with low THC contents in them, and also broad spectrum CBD. This is not a broad spectrum CBD, so it doesn't contain any THC. That's the psychoactive component of cannabis. So you aren't going to get any THC in this 100% CBD isolate, making it really good for, cosmetics, bath bombs, soaps, and that sort of thing. So when you isolate CBD from the plant, it results in a very concentrated THC-free product that offers many potential, and I'm going to highlight that word, potential health benefits without the psychoactive effects of THC. So again, you cannot make any claims, but the reason why people like to use a CBD isolate in their products is because it's linked to potential health benefits like reducing stress, anxiety, improving sleep, and easing pain and inflammation. So today I'm using my CBD isolate for its anti-inflammatory properties, and we have some other ingredients that we're going to be infusing in here that will also have anti-inflammatory properties. All right, let's make some bath bombs. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about this as we're going along. Hopefully that will answer some of your questions associated with CBD. Then I have a plethora of other dry ingredients over here, which I'll be talking about as we go along. So what I do is I get my colorant ready. Right after I weigh off my dry ingredients, I get my colorant ready. So this is going to be orange because we're using a mixture of orange essential oil and patchouli essential oil. So this is going to be an orange colored bath bomb, and I'm using just the orange water-soluble dye by Fizz Fairy. I really like using water-soluble dye in my bath bombs. These are bath bomb approved as well, so they're likely not to stain your bathtub, although you do need to do your own testing. Mica colorants can stain a little easier, so that's why I like to use the water-soluble dyes. So I just have this in a little bit of, maybe a half a teaspoon of water, and I just allowed my orange to kind of dissolve and to bloom in the water. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it into my baking soda, and then I'm going to bring this over to my KitchenAid mixer and get my KitchenAid mixer going. I'm just getting the rest of that color out of there, and it's going to dye the baking soda. So this way I can add a little bit of water without the fizzing effect, because there's no citric acid in this yet. I'm just getting this colored and ready for the next step. So this is sort of what it should look like when the color is distributed. I was going for a very light orange, so I like this color here that we've got going. It should feel slightly damp, but mostly very powdery. It's just dampened down enough that the color gets dissolved and you don't have baking soda flying all over your kitchen. All right, so then I have the rest of my dry ingredients here, along with a little bit of all of my liquid ingredients. So this is what I do next. Usually these are all in one container, but I wanted to go over the different ingredients with you. So I have pre-measured out my dry ingredients. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the cream of tartar, or cream of tartar. I might be saying that wrong. Maybe it's a regional thing. I've always known it as cream of tartar, but I was told recently that it's cream of tartar. So the cream of tartar, we use this in the bath bombs for its ability to create a harder bath bomb, but it also helps with the kind of a little bit of the foaming action. We're making a bubbling bath bomb today, and this helps the bubbles and foam it just enhances everything. So I really like using this. It's a must-have, in my opinion, for bath bombs. The next ingredient is SLSA. This is the surfactant, the powdered, the gentle, very gentle powdered surfactant that we're going to be using for its bubbling action. And there goes my air compressor, because we're going to be using the bath bomb press today. So then up next is the cornstarch. Now I'm using cornstarch. Again, it kind of helps to soften the water, and it also helps to create a very hard bath bomb. Next up is some kaolin clay. Now I'm using clay for two purposes. Again, to increase the hardness of the bath bomb. Clay really does help with hardness quite a bit, so I always use clay. And also clay is very detoxifying. The next ingredient we're going to be adding in is some Epsom salt. Now you can use fine grained Epsom salt, or you can do what I did. This makes a bit of a smoother bath bomb. I just take it and I grind it up in a little coffee grinder or spice grinder until I get a fine powder. It still has a little bit of grit to it, but it's not as gritty as, it's a little bit grittier than a fine grain like sand. So I like this because it makes the bath bombs appear a little bit smoother. But Epsom salts I'm using because of their kind of soothing and muscle relaxing properties. So this will be a nice addition along with the CBD isolate and some of the other ingredients that we're using. So there's all my dry ingredients, except for my CBD isolate. So this is a fat soluble, oil soluble CBD product. So I'm going to be adding it to my liquids in just a few minutes here. But the next thing we're going to do is just go ahead and take our dry ingredients, add them to the KitchenAid mixer. So I've added in all my dry ingredients, and this is what it should look like after it's mixing for a minute or so. It should look like a very dry powder at this point. You shouldn't really detect any of the moisture from the water that we use to bloom the dye. Otherwise, your mixture is going to be too wet when you add in the wet ingredients. So it should be looking like this. If it looks wetter than this, give it some time to stir itself out and dry a little bit. Alright, so next up are my liquids. So in this container here, I have some Polysorbate 80. Polysorbate 80 is a solubilizer and an emulsifier. So it's going to grab onto the color and the oils in the bath bomb, and that's going to go down the drain instead of sticking to your tub or your skin. So you get out of the bathtub without oil stuck all over your skin, yet you still feel silky smooth and moisturized. To me, Polysorbate 80 is a must-have in any bath bomb or shower steamer formula. So also in here is some shea butter, and then we have some hemp seed oil. Now the hemp seed oil, that's what's making that green, is great. It's known for its anti-inflammatory properties, which will be a very nice complement to the CBD isolate and also the Epsom salts. And we're gonna go ahead and warm this up to melt down that shea butter. Then we're gonna go ahead and add our fragrance, our essential oils of orange and patchouli to the melted oils and butter. Then we're gonna add our CBD isolate. And then in this little container, we have some 99% rubbing alcohol. So I'm gonna warm this up. I'll be right back for the next step. All right, so my shea butter's melted, my oils are warm. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add my essential oils. Give this a nice stir. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add in, I've added the essential oils into the warm oil and butter here to cool it down some. That way we're not exposing the CBD isolate to, a higher temperature. So this is sitting right around 104 degrees. So we're gonna go ahead and add in the CBD powder. Now you can see this is a tiny little amount because it's such a concentrated formula, such a concentrated product, I should say. A little bit goes a long way. So as you can see, it's just a little bit. We're making a 2,800 gram batch. So this little bit of concentrate that we've added in here is actually enough to give each bath bomb that we're going to be making roughly 50 milligrams of CBD. So that is something that you want to list on your products. If you're going to be using CBD, you want to list the amount that's in each product. So that can be a very confusing thing to research as well. When I write my tutorial, and the tutorial again will be on Patreon, I'll go into detail about how to figure out your dosage per bath bomb and all of that. That took me a minute actually to really figure out, so I will be explaining out all of that in my written tutorial over on my campaign. Okay, so once the CBD is melted, or actually dissolved, I should say, once the CBD is completely dissolved into your oil, again, this is an oil soluble product, it's time to go ahead and add our liquid ingredients to our dry ingredients, and then last, the citric acid. I just combined my oils and shea butter here. Sorry, my recorder wasn't turned on here, but we are just mixing this up before we add in that rubbing alcohol and getting it nice and combined. Next up, we're going to be adding in some 99% rubbing alcohol. It's important that it's 99% rubbing alcohol. If you use 70% or an alcohol with a higher concentration of water, you're going to cause your bath bombs to react once the citric acid gets mixed in. So we're just going to allow that to mix up and get nice and combined before we add in our citric acid. So this is what it should look like before you add in the citric acid. You've got a nice kind of damp powder situation going on here. Now we're going to add in our citric acid, and that goes in last, and I do that because it just helps the bath bombs to form much better. So we're going to go ahead and add that now. while that's mixing away, there was something I did not talk about with regards to the CBD. I did mention that it's very expensive. It is, and there are lots of other herbs you can use that have similar properties. To name a few, you can use arnica. Calendula is great also for its anti-inflammatory properties, and there's so many more. So you guys have seen me use a lot of them. Comfrey is a really good one as well. So you don't have to use CBD. It is a very popular product, though I know people like it. So we're going to allow this to combine, and then we'll be back to press our bath bombs. All right, I apologize for the awkward angle, but my setup is not great for filming bath bomb making, so I'm going to do my best here. This is a medium-sized round mold, also from the bath bomb press, and it goes with the actual press. There's all kinds of molds you can get over there to go with this press. So we're going to be making 5.5 ounce bath bombs to ensure that our bath bombs are getting roughly 50 milligrams of CBD per bath bomb. So I put my bowl on a scale, and then that way I can weigh off exactly 5.5 ounces each time. So I just place it over the top, and I just scoop in, I tear out my scale, and I just scoop in the amount. So I'm going to give you a closer look at this so you can see what my powder looks like in the mold. So as you can see, I have it slightly compacted. I've just slightly compacted it. I haven't pushed it down or anything like that. And then we're ready to go ahead and press it, and we've got 5.5 ounces in there. All right, here they are. They've been setting up now for probably about a half an hour. So we're gonna go ahead and decorate the tops of these with a little bit of paint that I made with mica and 99% rubbing alcohol. You definitely wanna make sure, again, that it's 99% rubbing alcohol, because if your alcohol has more water content in it than that, it's gonna react with your bombs and cause them to start fizzing, and you don't want that. So we're gonna be using some Jam Session mica that I got from Nurture Soap mixed with rubbing alcohol, and also some Orange Vibrance, also from Nurture Soap. So we're just gonna start out. This is the fun part. It gets messy, but it's super fun. This is how I like to decorate mine. I'm just using a makeup brush, making sure that's all mixed up, and then just kind of splattering it on the top. I really like this effect. You can do it as light, you know, or as heavy as you like. I like some of my drops to be bigger and then some smaller. So then I just kind of take a look around and see which ones need more and try to hit those. And then I'm going to layer it with a little bit of the Orange Vibrance paint. And this one I'm just kind of flicking just to get a little bit of a different design on there. And there you have it, everybody. That's how you make a CBD infused bath bomb. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please leave me some comments and questions below. That really means a lot to me. Share this video with a friend and subscribe to my channel. All right, everybody, catch you on the next video. Keep shining. Bye.